Hello, 안녕하세요, hola. Thank you for joining me for this video. I truly appreciate you taking time out of your busy life to visit with me. God's going to bless you. So this video, I am going to talk about the good of Korea. I do still have a video to upload of the ugly in English and one of the ugly in Spanish. I did create them last week prior to Thanksgiving, but I didn't want to overwhelm everyone with those videos, so I've uploaded videos of travel in Korea. And originally I had created the 45-minute video that I still have on my channel. However, the last 10 minutes froze, so I decided, you know what, let me just break it up into a few videos. But it's been a little bit, I'm learning. I think it's a lot easier just to do it in one. But anyway, I wanted to break it up, so I'll upload the other two, at a later date. However, today I want to talk about the good. So without any further ado, let's do it. Okay, so one thing that I loved about Korea is that it is an extremely safe country. I can't even explain how safe I felt in Korea. I live in California in a small town of 8,000 people in what we call the Central Valley. The Central Valley is the breadbasket of the world. We are very rich agriculturally in terms of fruits and nuts, and I live 45 minutes from Kings Canyon National Park, so it's absolutely beautiful. I live in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, so when there is a clear sky, 3 blocks from my home, I can literally see the peaks of Mount Whitney. And across the street from where I live is an empty lot. On the other side of that empty lot is orange grove, and then I could see the hillsides on the north side, and on the east side we just have these beautiful mountains. We have hills and then we have mountains in the background. So I live in an absolutely beautiful area of California. That said, I would never walk on my own after dark. I just wouldn't do it. When I lived in the Bay Area near San Francisco, I used to live 20 minutes from San Francisco. I used to attend Laney College. Actually, I took photography classes at Laney College, and there were times that I would get out of class, I don't know, around 10 p.m. So by the time I walked to my car, it was like 10:30. And I did do it in Oakland, but things have gotten really bad here in California. Like really, really bad. It's just crazy. We basically don't have, a government. So I don't want to get political. So, but it's gotten crazy. So anyway, I would never go out at nighttime on my own. Here where I live, in the small town that I live, or even the big cities, San Francisco, Los Angeles, I have been in San Francisco, at nighttime, but I'm never alone. I'm always with someone, a family member or a friend, but I wouldn't do it on my own. Anyway, in Korea, let me tell you a story of one thing that happened to me. And so I met a friend of mine, and we went out, and it was the first time we met. We had met through a language app. It's called Hello Talk, and actually some of my lifetime friends I met through there. And really, it's a good app, but I wasn't learning any Korean. With my friends, we were simply just communicating in English. One of them one of my friends, I did help him a lot with homework, but aside from that, I wasn't learning anything. And I did have a lot of people, hundreds of people, reach out to me. We'd say hi, and then it would be like they disappear, you know. So but I do have a handful of longtime friends that I met through that app. Anyway, so I met the one friend that we had known each other only for a couple of weeks. We met while I was actually in Korea through Hello Talk. And so we ended up meeting, and we just got along great. Like, I don't care if you're a man, woman, or child. Like, I get along with anyone. I will talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere. I mentioned this before. My youngest friend is 14 years of age. My eldest friend, she was 87. Unfortunately, she passed away a month ago. A little over a month ago. So, you know, I get along with everyone. So I don't care. Age is just a number, truly. So anyway, we met up and we hung out for, I think it was around 4 p.m. We met at a noodle restaurant, and then we went to a cafe afterward. So we hung out for 7.5 hours. And so afterward, we just lost track of time. He told me, he said, you know, it's 11:30, the subway's gonna stop running, we need to, you know, head on out. So anyway, you know, he went his way and I went my way. I was like maybe a 45-minute subway ride from my home, and then it's like a 20-minute bus ride and like an 8-minute walk. So we left, and I wish I would have had this on video, but I had a very cheap phone at the time, and I could only record like 20 pictures and like, you know, I don't know, 5-7 videos. And then at the time I also didn't have data, but you do get free Wi-Fi, you know, like on the bus or on the subway. So when I arrived at the first transfer station, I realized people started disappearing, and I'm thinking like, what's going on? I don't understand. And all of a sudden they start shutting down the lights, and I'm still there in the, you know, in the subway area, not on the actual train, on the platform. So I didn't know what to do. So I started panicking, and I wasn't picking up Wi-Fi. So, because I thought, well, maybe I could call my friend and ask him, like, hey, I don't know what to do, like, you know. And of course, I could not get a hold of him. So I tried going through one exit, and the doors were shut, like almost like a garage type, you know, aluminum doors. They were shut. And I was there by myself. There was no one there. This was crazy because it's a city of 10 million people, and there was absolutely no one there but me. So I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. So then so I'm just like walking, not knowing where I'm going because that one exit was shut. And then I seen this man come out of an office, and I thought, okay, follow him. So I just started, like, you know, walking really fast towards him. He never looked back. So either he didn't hear me, or he did. He thought, oh, you know, it's just someone a worker, or someone who's just whatever. I don't know. So I followed him, and he went through this one exit, and I think there was already a taxi there for him. I don't remember because I don't think it pulled up. He goes into the taxi and disappears. Well, I'm underneath the overpass. I'm literally underneath an overpass. I look to my left, and everything's dark. There are no people there. There's no one there. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I didn't know what to do. So I thought, okay, I just have to wait for a taxi, you know? And so anyway, I ended up getting in the taxi, and I thought I still had... Okay, so from where I met my friend to there, I still had a 45-minute, yeah, from this location, I had a 45-minute subway ride. Yeah, I had a 45-minute subway from this location, not from where I met him. From where I met him was probably like another 10 minutes away type of thing. So anyway, I get into the taxi and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to cost me $100, you know, and I thought, well, you know, I need to get home. I didn't care at that point how much it was going to cost me. So, so I used to live on the hillside. So it's very, very steep. Going downhill, easy. Going uphill, it's a different story, and especially when you're carrying groceries and, you know, just bags of items is really excruciating. But going downhill is like not a big deal. And it was a really nice area. So I lived on the side of 2 hills near Seoul National University. So, I mean, on the side of one hill, but near a side of a mountain, and there's another mountain in that area. So anyway, I noticed that the driver, I would say he was in his 60s, maybe like 65 or so. I noticed that he was a little apprehensive about driving. It's probably because, you know, it's a little like hilly. And so you need to remember that all the neighborhoods in Korea are alley-like. So they're very narrow. So even in the neighborhoods, you might have like the quote-unquote main streets. They are a little bit wider, but the main streets, but then the rest of the streets are very narrow, like alley-like, really. So you can't, 2 cars cannot go through there. So if a car's coming, you have to like pull to the side so that you can allow the other car to pass you by. So anyway, he seemed a little you know, frightened about going uphill, and he didn't seem comfortable. So I told him about 3 blocks away from my home, I said, you know what, why don't you just leave me here? You know, it's okay, I can walk. Excuse me. And he said, are you sure? And I said, yes, you know, that's okay. You know, I speak a little Korean, so it's like we can get our point across. And then I got into taxis a few times. So some of them can speak, you know, decent English. Some of them can't speak English at all. But with this man, I don't think he spoke any English. But anyway, like I said, I can get my point across in Korean. So I asked him if he would leave me, and you know, he wanted to make sure I would be okay, and I said yes. So I walked for 3 blocks. By then, it's 1:30 in the morning. Do you think I would do that here in my town of 8,000 people? No. Would I do that in San Francisco or Los Angeles? Absolutely never, ever. Even if you offered me $1 million, I would not do it. You know, especially now. Maybe back in the day, you know, even a few years ago, you know, when I was attending Laney College, it was in 2001. You know, 2001 to 2003 is I was taking photography classes, and actually I was there. I had started classes like a month prior to 9/11. But anyway, that's a different story. So yeah, there's just no way that I would do that here. But in Korea, I feel really, really safe. I am not scared. So that's like the latest I got home, you know, was at 1:30 in the morning. But there were times I would get out of work. I did some tutorial work, and I'll discuss that at a later time. So there were times that I would get home around 11 p.m. And I would have to walk from the bus stop to my home. Is an 8-minute walk, and I was never scared, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, I had some instances where some guys, you know, would come and talk to me, and I'm okay with people talking to me. I don't care. You know, men, women, children, like I said, I'm exactly the same way with you, regardless of your gender. But I would have men approach me, you know, once in a while, and hey, where are you from? And you know, people are interested. I mean, even, I had females too, but they wouldn't like walk with me, or you know, but they would just, if they're like in a corner, you know, seated with friends, hey, where are you from? And then we would talk or not talk, you know, depending on how much we knew one another's respective language. So I would have men, you know, sometimes like walk with me. Hey, can I walk with you? Can we talk? And it was cool. You know, some of them, a couple of them, or maybe 2 or 3 of them got a little too aggressive, you know. But until they got aggressive, we were quote unquote getting along just fine. But other than that, like, I felt really safe. And I don't know, to be honest with you, why I felt safe since day one. So the reason I shared this story is because I got home at 1:30 in the morning. But even prior to that, I felt safe in the country. I really, really did. I can't explain it to you. I just felt safe, But also, there is one thing that they do have. They have cameras everywhere. So, just absolutely everywhere. So, as a citizen of the US, I do not like big government. I like small government. I know we have cameras here too, but over there they're just like all over the place. And here I wouldn't be quote unquote okay with it if I saw them absolutely everywhere. I just would not like that. But since I'm not a citizen of South Korea, I'm okay. I'm totally, completely okay with them having cameras everywhere. So, that bears a question. Is it a safe country because Koreans know that they have cameras everywhere? Or is it a safe country just because of their culture? I don't know, but hey, I'm okay. As long as I feel safe, I'm okay. So I can go anywhere and everywhere in Korea and be by myself at nighttime, and I'm okay with that. Another thing that I liked about Korea as well is that when I would go out with friends and we needed to get up to go to the ladies' room, they would like leave their items at the table and they would say, "Oh, Dolores, just leave it there. It's okay." And I'd be like, no, I don't think so. I'm taking my items with me. And then you realize that that's what Koreans do. They leave their bags, their phones, they just leave their stuff everywhere. I eventually did that a few times, but then I stopped. And the reason that I stopped and the reason that I would never do that again is because I did have a beautiful cropped denim jacket, very unique Donna Karan denim jacket stolen from my friend's car. So what happened is my friend is an engineer at Samsung. So his wife and I, we went out. We went to this village. I honestly thought it was like a historical village, but it really wasn't. It's like modern, but they made it look historical. So it's kind of like a park area, and I'll upload some videos and pictures, at a later time. So anyway, we went out and we had a really lovely time. So they called him from the office and they needed him to go in. So he left his wife and I at a nearby park. So that day we had our windows rolled down. It was just an absolutely beautiful day. We had the windows rolled down, but I had taken off my jacket. And I remember when I exited the car, I thought you need to let him know to roll up the windows because you have your jacket in the back seat. And I thought about it, but I didn't say anything. And of course I didn't pick up my jacket either. So he left us, I don't know, maybe like for an hour. So when he came back and picked us up, yeah, my jacket was gone. And he couldn't believe it. He could not believe that my jacket was stolen. And of course it was. I asked him if they had CCTV in the parking lot, and he told me that they did not. Which is a little odd that you would think that a company as big as Samsung would have, cameras, but apparently not. Hence my reason to not leave items unattended. To be honest with you, I would think that it was probably a foreigner that stole it, because like I mentioned, they do have cameras everywhere. So whether Koreans are respectful of other people's items and belongings, whether it's due to their culture or due to the fact that they're being watched all the time. Of course, I do not know. But foreigners may not be aware, that they're quote unquote being watched if they're not attentive to their surroundings. Because if you are, you're going to know you're being watched because there are cameras everywhere. And there's like signs and there's lights and yeah, so So anyway, yeah, so I'll never leave items unattended for that sole reason. You just don't know. Maybe 99.99% of Koreans would never take your item. But that, little 0.01%, could. And then foreigners, foreigners are, I guess I can't really talk about other nations, but here in the States and in Mexico, yeah, things will be taken from you. So, I mean, it's not a good thing, but especially like now here in California, things have gotten so crazy. I mean, the government allows them to, steal up to $900 worth of items. It doesn't even make sense. Okay, but I'm getting political, so I need to stop. I digress. I'm sorry. So, okay, I just wanted to, where am I? Oh, I'm at 21 minutes. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the good, and I'll be posting the rest of the ugly, which I don't know when I'll post it. Maybe in the next couple of days. The rest of the ugly in English is about a fall that I had in Korea. Yeah. It wasn't very good, and till this day, 5 years later, I still suffer from the consequences of that great fall. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to visit with me, and I do have a lot to share. I'm gonna eat, and then I'll come back, because I do want to share a couple of apps that you definitely need, even before you go to Korea. Like, if you can learn those apps, that would be great. But yeah, so I'll see you in a bit, but thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderfully blessed day. Goodbye. Annyeong. Adios.